they're my significant other's friend. If it's my wife's friend, then I have to be that person's friend. I don't see it like that.
Yeah.
Some people just don't get along. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, I am not, me personally, I'm not good friends with pretty much any of my wife's friends. I know of them and they're good people, right? They're all good people, but I don't see it as one of those check off their box. I have to be their friend as well. I
You say, okay, that's what I was going to get to too.
Yeah.
Where it's not necessarily friend, but I don't want to say tolerate because that makes it seem like you don't like it. But you want to be able to have just get along. No issues. It doesn't mean friends that, okay, we're going to talk on the phone, we're going to text each other, like all that. But if you're going to hang, if Karen's like, hey, I'm going to hang out, or this person's coming over, to you, it's just like, okay. Doesn't mean you guys are best friends. Doesn't mean you have to hang out, whatever. But you don't mind their presence, being around, because it's not an energy drainer. They're not maybe a negative. There probably are people like that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna let her know, like, hey, this is my feeling towards this person, blah blah blah. Now, some people will be like, you need to cut them off, also, or some people will be like, listen. Depending on the situation, if there was someone that they've known from childhood or whatever. Me personally, I'll be like, listen, you can hang out with them, you guys do whatever. I don't want to be around. Don't have them around me. Some people will be like, you can't be their friend. That's all you guys discuss that out for whatever reason, whatever it is. But to me, it's important, depending on how important that friend is to my wife.
Good point. Absolutely.
Or yes, to my wife.
So if it's your wife's best friend.
If it's my wife's best friend, I'll bring it to a point where I don't have no issue with you. What I hear about you isn't, obviously, I'm not gonna hear everything great all the time. Your best friends are gonna fight. But it's nothing to the point where it's disrespectful, you're rude. When you see me, you don't talk to me, you don't acknowledge me.
Yeah.
That's a different story. Right? That I'm not cutting. But if we acknowledge each other, you see me, you say hi, even if we hug or we don't hug, whatever it is, you acknowledge each other and you guys get along, that's good for me.
Yeah.
Right? If you can get along with my friends or whatever, doesn't mean you have to hang out with us.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think it needs to at least be to that point. If it's someone that your significant other sees every now and then. If it's a work coworker, different. I don't need to be friends with them.
True.
That's you go to work. If now you guys start doing stuff outside of work, that's a different story. I don't need to be their friend, but I want to know what's going on, just know the kind of friend relationship you guys have or what it is, right? But
I don't know.
if I had to give a number as an important to rate it, I will say it's a 6.
It's a little too high. That makes it that if you're
because if it's a long,
then you're thinking about it. If it's a 6,
it's because we're talking about already like married. Okay, if you're dating, if you start dating someone, if you know you're gonna be with this person forever, and like okay, I'm gonna propose, this is gonna be my girl, we're gonna be married, then I think it does. Then you need to figure out the friend zone.
Gotcha.
Who's a friend, who's a good friend, who you get along with and all that. That's why to me it's kind of important, because if they're a person that has friends, goes out, likes to mingle and stuff, you don't want them to lose that edge. You don't want them to feel like, lose that part of it. So you want to be able to be okay with their friends. You want to be able to be comfortable with who they are. You don't want them saying, oh, I'm going out with this person. Now you're home stressing, or you make it an issue before they go out. Now they have a bad time. They're not having, you don't want your significant other having a bad. You want them when they leave the house to feel like, I can go out and my partner's not worrying about me in that aspect that I'm going to do stuff. They may worry as if something could happen to me, but that's anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna touch upon that last example that you said, right? Okay, so say, just like you said, they're going out with their friend. Now, you guys are married,
Yeah.
right? This friend is single,
Yeah.
and they still have the going out and partying atmosphere. Do you still, as a married couple, do you still want that to continue?
Can't speak for Jen. I kind of know what she would think, maybe, but I can only speak for myself. I don't care.
Okay.
And when I say I don't care, meaning
So you don't care if the friend hasn't settled down mentally?
no, because my person is settled down. If I know my person is with me and they're not looking for someone that they're yeah, it has to be what my significant other, what she's doing and how she's carrying herself with that friend. This could be, she can tell me when we go out, she does this, I'm here. You're letting me know what goes on. Why am I going to have an issue with you? I know people like to say a lot of times, oh, I trust my partner. It's the other people that I don't. Then your partner can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Or at least they can't go anywhere without you, because no matter where they go, even if it's people you know that they're around, you tell me something can't happen?
See,
it's on your partner to accept what's going, what the advancements of others.
Yeah.
If you feel they're going to accept their advancements, that's when you're like, I don't want you going nowhere. But then why you with them?
Yeah. See, and I think maybe you've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I am not the clubby person now.
Yeah,
I'm reaching that age where, like, the only time I actually go to a club is actually with Karen.
With her. Yeah.
The last couple times I went to a club, the last few times I was actually only with Karen. We had a good time. We had fun.
Yeah.
But it's now, I've seen other people, right, where you still have a single group of friends or females or males, whatever the case may be, and they're still in that atmosphere at the age of mid-40s, a couple people closing upon 50 next year in a couple of years, and they're still of that ilk where they're still going to these clubs and they're partying and they're drinking like you're touching 50 almost. And then when you're asking a married person to continue on that lifestyle, you're kind of looking at it like, I'm not really into that anymore. You know what I mean? My single friends may be into it, but I'm not into it. Now they're looking at you as a married person, oh, you're selling us off for your husband or your wife, the case may be. And it kind of makes now, the mature person sitting back, look back. Because like now you're taking away your significant other from her friends who are still in that atmosphere. Does that make sense? So you don't want to take your wife or your husband away from their original friends, their OGs, and the people they used to hang around with. But at some point, you're going to have to talk. I'm assuming at some point you would have a conversation with your significant other saying, we're almost 50 years old. Do you still want to do this?
Now,
you know what I mean?
That aspect. I don't think age should stop you from partying.
Yeah.
The type of party you go to, that's where the age kicks in.
Like a Diddy party?
Now, if you're...
So I have to do it. Nobody's going to a Diddy party. When you're 20, 30, 40, 50, don't go to Diddy party. Go ahead.
Party. You do what you want to do at your own place.
That's the middle.
We just, hey, all I'm saying is I'm pretty sure there's a small portion of the room that's going.
Probably.
Business.
TJ, you going to a Diddy party?
Wow, anyways, we're not talking
Was
about...
that a yes?
Nah.
Yeah?
Nah.
Nah?
I ain't going no Diddy party.
Nah?
No oil changes here, man.
Go ahead.
Anyways, what was I saying now?
So in that aspect, when it comes to like approaching...
Yes, the club thing, yes. Okay, so depends on the event you go to. Now, when we hold our big event next year, that's where if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, 70, and we go, even if you're in your mature 30s, you can come on out and have a good time.
Exactly.
It's not a club. It won't be necessarily a club. We're not going to do it in a club. We'll have a nice place, whatever it is. But if you're going to those type of things, like we said, that if you're going to a sophisticated event, whatever it is, that's fine. You can party.
Brother, that was a perfect segue promo, bro. that was genius.
If you want to
That
go,
was genius.
now if you want to go to the club and you're 40, 50, you said you went with Karen. It's just you two. You guys went. You had your good time. You maybe had your, maybe not a booth, but you had your spot where you guys chilled. You got your drink. That, like I said before, I've said it before. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
But to me, it's like what you just said about when we're holding our event next year. That's only like a one-off. Right?
yeah,
I'm
but
talking
going to one-offs. I don't like.
I'm talking about more consistently, like those friends that are going every friggin' weekend, like every weekend.
Yeah.
Yo, come on, we're going on this Friday.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bit too much. When you're touching a
Now,
certain age,
yeah, maybe she may not. I wouldn't want my going every weekend.
there we go.
I can understand you going, you know, every now and then. Maybe
Right.
one. Even if you went once a month, that's your me time.
Gotcha.
Cool. If they want to go, cool. Now, are they encouraging you